Welcome back to the channel. Please just subscribe, and then let's start with simultaneous equations. And then also, it's not a bad idea to like the video if you happen to like the content of the video. So there's a like tab there on your screen. Just tap that. And then now we are looking at simultaneous equations. So basically just going to look at two examples for simultaneous equations. All the other exercises related to simultaneous equations that we're going to be doing later on will be from the past papers or past exam papers. Okay, this part one we look at number one, then part two we look at number two, then we are out of this place. So this is the approach for simultaneous equations. You're usually given two equations, and for these two equations you are required to solve for both x and y. Okay, the game plan is that between the two equations there's always a simpler one, there's a complicated one. So you start from the simpler one. So what you do, you say from the simpler equation, which is in this case that is equation 1. As you can see, it has less variables than equation 2. So from that equation you make one of the variables either x or y the subject to the formula. In this case it's easier to just make x the subject to the formula. From that equation, x is going to be equals to, you move this 3y to the right hand side. That means you are now having 1 plus 3y. That becomes your equation 3. And what you're going to do, you're just going to substitute, it's enough, that equation 3 into the complicated equation. Okay, sometimes you have an equation whereby already one of the variables is the subject of the formula, especially in the simple equation. Then you just need to do the direct substitution, but in this case that was not the case, so we had to start by firstly making one of the variables the subject of the formula. Okay, continuing or moving on, we just gonna substitute this equation into equation 2, and that means for x we're gonna have 1 plus 3y, and then we square that plus 2, and for x we put 1 plus 3y again. Then we're going to multiply that by this y, and then minus y squared equals to 23. Okay, I hope you see how we have done the substitution. Basically for x we just put this 1 plus 3y, and then for this other x as well we just put the 1 plus 3y again in brackets. And then now all we need to do is to simplify from here. Okay, let's do the simplification. So this 1 plus 3y can just be, if it's quite like that, that means it occurs twice. It's basically the product of 1 plus 3y like that and 1 plus 3y. Okay, and then now this part when we simplify is just going to be we can say 2 plus 6y, all of that multiplied by y minus y squared equals to 23. Okay, and now what do we have? 1 times 1 is 1, plus 1 times 3y is 3y, 3y times 3y plus 3y, that is 6y, plus 9y squared, plus 2y plus 6y squared minus y squared. I'm taking this 23 to the left hand side, is coming negative 23, and then we have that. Now we just need to add the like terms. 9y squared plus 6y squared minus y squared, what is that? Okay, 9 plus 6, that is 15. 15 minus 1, that is 14y squared. Okay, and then 6y plus 2y, that is 8y. Okay, and then 1 plus plus what? 1 plus, it's actually just 1 minus 23, that is negative 22, and then we are there. Now we have our quadratic equation, we need to solve that. What we can do here to simplify our lives, we just use the quadratic formula. We don't have to stress too much. That means y is actually equals to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4, okay, ac, like that. Excuse my handwriting if it is too bad at this point, but I hope you get to see the picture that you need to see. Okay, b is our 8 there, c is negative 22, and a is 14, plus minus 8 squared minus 4. A we're gonna put 14, c we're gonna put negative 22, and we take the square root of everything. We divide everything by 2 times the a, which is 14. That means y is actually equals to 1, or what is happening, y is equal to negative 11 over 7. I hope that's what you get on the calculator. So now we have two values of y. We need to get the values of x. To get the values of x, we're just going to substitute each of the values, the y values, into the simpler or the simplified equation, which is that equation 3. Okay, into that equation 3. So for y equals to 1, as well as for y equals to negative 11 over 7. Okay, for y equals to 1, x equals to what? Okay, x equals to 1 plus 3y. That means that is 1 plus 3 times y, which is 1. Okay, this is actually 4. And then for this, x is going to be equals to 1 plus 3y. Y in this case is negative 11 over 7. Therefore, x is actually equal to negative 26 over 7. So, with mathematics at this stage of algebra, we always try to check if our answers are correct. So, what you need to do from here, take this, your solutions. Okay, I can write it like that. Solutions are this: when x is 4, the y is 1, and when x is negative 26 over 7, the y value of the corresponding y value rather is negative 11 over 7. So you're gonna take each point, these two coordinates, the x and the y coordinates, you put them into equation 1 as well as equation 2, and check if when you put this into equation 1 and equation 2 respectively, do you get that the left hand side of each equation is equal to the right hand side. If that is the case, that means all the solutions are valid. If it is not the case, therefore one of them, or for that solution which gives you an invalid, which makes the two sides of the equation not to be equal, that solution itself is actually not valid. In this case, I'm just gonna try with the simpler one, and then I'll also try with the complicated one. It's complicated because of the fraction basically, but it's not that deep. Okay, we're gonna substitute 1 and 4 firstly into equation 1. What we do on the calculator, we just put x is 4 and then minus 3, and then we put y being 1, and then we check the answer that we get. 4 minus 3, that is 1. That means for equation 1, these 2 points of this point rather, which is just 1 point of 1 and 4, it's actually valid, right? Then we're gonna substitute the very same point into this equation. How we do the substitution: for x we put 4 squared plus 2 times 4, and the y is 1 minus 1 squared. Check, this is 16. 4 squared is 16, and then 2 times 4, that is 8. 16 plus 8, I think that is 24, minus 1, then you get 23. So this point is actually valid for both questions. I mean both equations, not questions. Okay, therefore it is actually a solution to this problem. Then you will try again with that other point of negative 26 over that negative 26 over, what is it, 7, and negative 11 over 7, this point as well. You just substitute it here on your calculator. I just showed you how to do the substitution, and then you check if it is valid. I've already done that, and it is actually valid. So these two are our solutions. These are our solutions, these 2 points, and then we are done with solving the problem. It doesn't get trickier than this. If it tries to get trickier, it will be maybe in this kind of a question, but we will see that in part 2 of this video series. See you, subscribe, like the video, comment, and then we see each other in the next video. Sure.